All right. Yeah. So this is gonna be a bit short stream, but I had this idea. I got some inspiration to try a new project after playing some RuneScape, and I just want to sketch out a game, like the data structures for a game that's going to be very simple, where you have like a player and then you have some mobs and you can like point at them and kill them. Let's call it a RuneScape clone. Very, 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 very extremely simple and dumbed down version, but just for myself to try to understand how that works and like how that can be built. So that would be like a proof of concept, let's say. Let's see where that goes. Do 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 do. All right. So I already did a bit this morning. Honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I don't really know how to structure something like this in an effective way. Doing this in Rust now. But we need some sort of character. We're gonna need skills. Kill stats would be fun to have, like you can see stats over time, like how many of everything you have killed, for example, over the lifetime of the character. You need some kind of mob types, loot tables. I don't know, like what's the best way to structure something like that. And then you need mobs. Yeah. So I might try some, let's call it vibe coding here, to get some inspiration for where to get started. So let's create a new chat. So I have this shell created for a very, very simple game. I want there to be one mob type initially and players, and the player can point and click at that mob to attack it, and there will be some calculations happening to decide how much damage is made, the attack hits or not, etc. Can you please refactor the data structs to accommodate for this? When the mob dies, something from the loot table should drop with different chance for different items. Let's see what we get. Git status, by the way, git add, before it writes stuff. Git commit. Yeah. So what did it do here? Player character with combat stats, health, max health, inventory. Name, skills, inventory, kills. Skills that affect combat. Damage dealt, hit chance, dodge chance, damage taken. That's good. Track kills for different mob types, exactly. Different types of mobs in the game. Items that can be looted. Okay, so there is an item, name, value, item type, value. Different types of items. No, yeah, maybe makes sense. Okay, items, vec, loot, entry. Entry in a loot table with drop chance. This looks reasonable. So you have an item and then you have a drop chance on that. Name, health, max health, damage, defense, accuracy, loot table, position. Yeah, it needs a position. Position in the game world. Combat result. Hit. Oh, okay. Loot, critical, damage, hit. Doesn't really make sense. Function mob. Spawn. Mob type. Position. Let name, health, damage, defense, accuracy match mob type. Health, damage, defense, accuracy. This stuff should probably live somewhere else and not in a match statement on spawn. Mob type name, max health, damage, loot table, new mob type. Is dead. Self.health equals 0. Take damage from an attack. Generate loot when the mob dies. Do 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 do. But I mean, yeah, we need a database of items and we need a database of mobs. This is not ideal. This is not great. we need a database of items and a database of mobs. We can't, each needs an ID and they need to be the same. So, yeah. Yeah, a way to reference these consistently, exactly. Then we can just spawn stuff from the database. And we can get loot, add loot from the database as well. I have completely refactored the code to implement proper databases for items and mobs with consistent IDs. Here's a breakdown. I think this is what I needed. Entity IDs. Added a type entity ID. Serves as a unique identifier for all game entities. All entities, item, mob, loot tables now have an ID field. Good. Created item database struct to store all game items. Items are stored in a hash map. Mob database. Created mob database struct to store all mob templates. Added mob template struct to define the characteristics of each mob type. Templates include stats like health, damage, defense, and a reference to their loot table. Good. Game state. Added a central game state struct that manages all databases, handles ID generation, and provides methods to access and create entities. Okay, the main function demonstrates creating a game state with initialized databases, finding a mob template by type, spawning a mob from the template, attacking the mob and processing the result, handling loot drops using the database. This structure makes it much easier to add new items, mobs, and loot tables, maintain consistency between related entities, serialize, deserialize game state, implement save load functionality. Would you like me to explain any specific part in more detail? What? This is 460 lines of code right now. So what is it doing now? Entity ID. That's how you can create a new struct that is just another type. Like, yeah. I tried to do this before, but I didn't know how to do it. I just made like struct entity ID and then gave it a field name. Item database, entity ID, item. No, but should every mob have its own ID range and every item have its own ID range? Makes more sense. Loot entry, entity ID, template ID, entity ID. I want each type to have their own ID range. So for example, items should have item ID, mobs should have mob ID, etc. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to perhaps vibe code this. I mean, it's a very simple idea, so it shouldn't be too hard for the game or like for for the bot to make something. Item ID, mob template ID. So what is the difference between a mob ID and a mob template ID? Mob ID represents a specific instance of a mob. Each individual mob that exists in the game gets a unique ID. Contains instance-specific data, current health, position in the game world, any other state that might change during gameplay. Yeah, that makes sense. Database for all game items. Item ID, item. Next ID. Makes sense, yeah. ID. Mob type, health, damage, defense, accuracy. Health, max health, skills, inventory, kills. Track the kills, different types, mobs, items that can be looted. Item ID, name, value. What is the value? Item type. Item type makes sense. Or like item class, you might want to have to think about that. Like there might be behaviors that we want to allow certain types of. Like an item can be within many categories at the same time. It can be a sword and a metal. And there might be some behaviors specific to both that you want to allow or disallow. We can start like this for now. Loot table for mobs, loot table ID, items, loot entry, item ID and drop chance, mob with combat stats and loot, ID, template ID, health, position. Hit, damage, critical, loot ID. Why would there be a loot ID in the combat result? Game state containing all databases, ItemDB, MobDB, loot table, next mob ID. What? Y. So the game state wouldn't have a tracker of spawned mobs. Interesting. Implement item database. New item database. Items hash map new. Next ID 1. Get next ID. Add item. But if it's plus equals 1, then this should start at 0. No, never mind. It's been doing it a bit weirdly here. Get next ID. So it increments, but you get back ID first. Why not just call this mob template database? Loot table database. They all look the same. Generate loot. For entry in loot table items. Game state new. All right, let's see. ItemDB, MobDB, initialize databases, game state. Fox pelt, fox meat, snake skin, snake venom. Create loot tables. Create mob templates. Fox. Snake. Spawn mob. Template ID. Expect mob template not found. AI is bad. It just overcomplicates it by a lot. All right, we can try to run this and see what happens. is dead, take damage, template ID, player, skills, inventory, kills, attack a mob and return the combat result. Calculate damage, let base damage equal RNG damage if base damage above template.defense. Else 1 minimum damage. Template, get mob template. Mob. Get mob template for mob.template ID. Final damage. Apply damage to mob. Mob take damage. Generate loot if mob dies. Game state, generate loot. Else none. Combat result. Hit, true, damage, critical, loot ID. Calculate hit chance based on player accuracy. Add an item to the player's inventory. And now we're initializing. Let game state, player, find the Fox template. Spawn a mob at a specific position. Get the mob template for display purposes. What is it doing? It just keeps like getting templates and sending around a bunch of IDs. It's pretty weird. Hit dealt damage to the critical hit. If mob is dead, let some loot ID, game state, get item, looted, player record kill, mob type. Okay, let's see what this gives us. Cargo run. 8 errors, so no, it doesn't even compile. This is shit. Why does it not do those things anymore? It should do the linting and stuff. Preferences, cursor settings. General features. Lots of linting errors. Can you fix? How does it know? It usually runs the linter. I don't know why it doesn't do that right now. Do, 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 do. But it doesn't know what the linting errors are. That's annoying. Cursor. IDE not using tool calls like linting. How to activate. Stop. I'm using Rust and have Rust Analyzer installed. Is this the problem? That I'm not in the right folder? Let's try. Where is this even located? Users. Okay. Don't save. Okay, can you please fix all linting errors and imports? Hello, Mr. Corky. Yeah, doing some hacking. How are you doing? played some, have you played some RuneScape today? Why is it not checking the linting issues, or like why it cannot compile? Okay, I'll just have to send this. I'm a bit lazy now. I should just figure this out myself and write the code myself, but I needed some inspiration. Getting ready to go to the gym. Nice. I went earlier. It was a leg day today. Don't feel like playing today. That's normal. Then that's a good day to have a break. Why is it? No, this is wrong. This is wrong. 2024 is a valid Rust edition. It's so stupid. Wait. Oh, this is the lock file. Okay, I'll just accept. Okay, now we get linter errors here. Good, finally. Arms and triceps. That's good. That's good stuff. Okay, we're actually getting something back here. Missed the fox. Missed the fox. Missed the fox. Oh, we dealt damage. Where did it go? I saw it. Hit. Dealt 12 damage to the fox. Do legs on Friday. Yeah, I mean, I have the same issue. My muscles, like after leg day, the soreness, that's the part of the body where the soreness stays for the longest, that's for sure. This week I started with leg day because I just wanted to get it over with. And I've been slacking a bit with legs for quite a while. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm gonna use my legs. This is the third week in a row where I do legs, so it already starting to feel better. It's not like the initial. I was so unused to doing it. I had been running, so I thought, yeah, whatever. I don't need to do legs at the gym. But then when I did legs at the gym, it was like, oh, these are like feels like new muscles now. I was very unused to feeling, well, like to doing strength training with the legs. I mean, this is the problem with AI. Like, it can write some code for me, but I don't feel like I have control over what we have here now. There's like already 500 lines of code for something super simple. Let's see what happens. Let's experiment with this. Let's make a checkpoint and see if we can just ask it to like compress the code now. can make a branch, git status, git add, no, git branch cursor test, git branch b cursor test. What? Why not? Checkout. Git commit, trying out prototyping with cursor. Okay, now please simplify. There are 550 lines of code. Make the example as simple as possible. Don't add new stuff, but remove and simplify concepts. Use solid coding principles. Do. Let's see if it can manage to... now it removed the ID system that we just added. Entity type, player enemy. Accept. Hero hit Fox for 16 damage. Fox has 14 health remaining. 21 damage. Fox has 9 health remaining. 17. Critical hit. Hero defeated Fox. Nice. Where is the loot? There is no loot. Okay, this is better, much simpler. Git status, git add. Add. Simplify by a lot. Git. We don't need to push it, there's nowhere to push yet. Good, this is great. Now can you make a super simple rendering of this? I imagine like a little rectangular area in 3D where the mobs stand and the player too. Nothing crazy. GGEase. Never heard of this crate. Simple 2D, 3D game framework. Easy to work with. Okay, let's search for this. Rust crate to create good games easily. That's exactly what I need. Last updated 2 years ago though. That's not good. But this is 2D, not 3D. Holy shit, look at the amount of dependencies now. Went from 10 to 274. That's insane. Do 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 do. The RuneScape music is so good. Like I've had it in my mind, on my head the whole day. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No, that didn't work. 33 errors. Let's start again. Git status, git reset head. Can I do that? Yeah, I could. Reject file. And there shouldn't be any changes here either. Just still need to reject. Git reset head. Yeah, the AIs are pretty good now when it comes to programming, that's for sure. But it is a topic of debate, like how good are they actually? Like it seems good. They just spit out code and you can actually run it some of the time. But like, is it really doing what you're trying to do? That's the question. Like it's hard to control it to make what you want. I heard this really good analogy about it on a podcast where it's like with the images that they generate, like they look really cool, but if you wanted to create, if you have like something very specific in mind and you wanted to create that picture, that's almost impossible. It feels a bit similar in code. It does stuff. It's like, yeah, this looks cool, this looks good, but it's not really what I had in mind. Okay, create a new. But it's getting there. Like it's getting better and better every month or so. We can try with one of the new ChatGPT models actually. O4 mini high. Can you the code main.rs cargo.toml and then I'll just send same question. Can you make a super simple rendering of this? I think AI coding agents probably a pretty decent way to like start to learn coding. Potentially. Or at least it makes it less. No, I don't want an image. Look at that. No, this is not what I want. Can you write the Rust code to make a super simple rendering of this game? For example, using Bevy or something more lightweight but still popular, still actively maintained if there is one. I've been thinking about RuneScape today. I've been wanting to play. It's weird because it's such a slow game. It's not like this instant hit of dopamine when you play it, but it's like low key, just nice. It's hard to describe. Yeah, I guess I have been infected. Tread carefully, yep. It doesn't help that this is also available on the phone. Let's put it like that. Bevy 0.11. That sounds very old. Bevy Rust. Hey Wilson, by the way. 0.15. Okay, I'll give that context to it. Doesn't seem to know that. Point. Where did I see the version? 15. Okay. Bevy crates.io. How are you today, Wilson Mandela? Have you played anything? Oh, it's 0.15.3. So yeah, 0.15. It's the latest minor release version. Hey Sherman. That's a good question. So you're asking if Java is still fine language for game development? I'm no expert, so I might be the wrong person to ask, but I don't think it really matters initially. What you use. It's more about, depends on what goal you have, but like if it's about learning and understanding, you can use anything, and you're gonna notice if you get into some blocks. I would say Java, not that I'm aware of, like there's not that many like libraries or game engines using Java. The more popular option seems to be Unity game engine, and that uses C Sharp. C Sharp, C++ seem to be popular languages for game development. Ah, thank you, Wilson. Thank you. You found it. My writing. That's cool. I haven't done it in a while now. My inspiration for writing goes a bit up and down. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, so it does initialize Bevy in the main. Create game state. Directional light, camera 3D bundle. So where does it use the game state? Ah, create game state. Okay. And then what? GS. I don't think it uses the game state initially. In main, we push a green ground plane, directional light, position a 3D camera, iterate, entity, spawning a colored cube. Wait. Oh yeah, it does actually. For entity spawn, no. Let color equals, and then it spawns it. Ah, that's cool. Entity position. All right, it actually uses that information. Let's see if it works though. Yeah, I noticed that as well. When looking back, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Have a good. I hope you have a good rest of your day, Wilson. See you later. How did we just lose? Lines of code here. Oh, we're not doing the printing and stuff in main anymore. Okay, now we have 395 dependencies. That's insane. Ah, hey Corky, are you in Twitch now? Thank you for the sub. Hi Corky. I keep complaining about this, but it feels like Bevy is so convoluted. Like, why do I have 400 dependencies now? It's insane. No, look at this. This is bad. They're using some like ChatGPT and Rust or Bevy. They don't match well together. Rust and those chatbots in general. 10 errors. Can you please fix? Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw away all of this code later if I wanna make this actually work. Material transform bundle. One error, that's an improvement. Unsolved import, mesh shape. No, I don't know what I'm doing now. This quickly got out of hand. I just hoped it would be able to render something, but it didn't. Yeah. I think, yeah, this is a shorter session. Back to the drawing board with the sketching. Maybe... No, I don't want to write this in JavaScript because that's going to be so bad for performance. Python as well. Unfortunately, these bots are so much better at doing this in Python and JavaScript. I just have to figure it out myself, I think. Or use a game engine. Okay, now it's searching the web. Good. Maybe I need to ask it, like, search the web for the latest. The latest versions. Still could not find shape in Prelude. Come on. Oops. Please use the internet to find an answer. Baby shape import. Maybe you can't even do that. Samples. .3D rendering. I'll just give this to it. Stop. Here's an example of a scene with a plane, circular in this case, and a cube. Do, 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 do. You see, it's really stupid. I should prohibit myself from using AI because it's so bad. I'll just restore to my previous queue git branch before I introduce the bot. Git checkout master. Oh, git stash. There we go. Clean, fresh and clean. What is this? How am I supposed to use this? It's showing me the diff. Cool, all right. I'm gonna stop the stream now. But yeah, thank you everyone who tuned in. It was fun. We'll see what I do next time. If it's some gaming or coding or... yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I hope you all have a good rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are and when you watch this. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.